So vendors giving back to the community. I say this all the time, so this is one of my quotes. We do important things for the life of the world, not just for a temporary and ever-fleeting sales goal. So giving back to the community is a huge, huge part of what I do. So I oversee the sales and business development for 8 entities now, and one of them is Roost. I don't know if you guys have been to Till and gone to the coffee shop. But I remember Springs Rescue Mission came up to me and they said, we would really love to do a coffee takeover with you. And we've all heard of this, right? And I'm always a little leery initially of those kind of things, like, okay, well, I mean, sure, it just sounds like a lot of work and just like one more thing, and what are we really benefiting at this point? But we sat down, we come up with a clear plan. They would bring t-shirts and mugs, and we would give free coffee, and we would just tell people about what we're building here in the city, and homelessness is really very important to me. And so I remember they came and we're all discussing, and it was our second biggest Saturday we've ever had at Roost in regards to sales, and one of our regulars wrote a $15,000 check to Springs Rescue Mission. And I remember sitting there and I'm watching all of this happen, and I keep thinking, from a sales perspective, this is brilliant, okay? But for the life of the world, it's even more important, because actually what we're doing is we're building something bigger than ourselves. And so I've never wanted to be this castle on a hill. I actually wanted to be a place of refuge. That's what hospitality is, right? It's just, hospitals. Like, we're just housing people that need love and affection, and they need to be seen. And that's a big part of my why. My why is I want to see people grow, and I want to see people well, truly. And so that was an example. We also had Mary's Home and Dream Centers here, hosted the food for them so they could just write off that cost. And I booked 3 corporate parties from that. I had people reach out to me that said, we just really appreciate the fact that you are doing something bigger than yourself, and not just for just a name kind of up there that we don't know of, but actual like boots on the ground. We are helping homeless moms here in our city, right? And so for me, that's what it means to give back. It doesn't mean, we spend $2,500 on a print ad. Why aren't we spending $2,500 on our cost of food in order to give back to where, because those people that are sitting in that space remember that kind of thing. I know I do. I remember when I go into spaces and people are saying, but we support you. We support your mission. We support what you're building. And that to me is more important than a back page ad on any magazine, truly. So when you're thinking about how do I give back, you collaborate. That's how you give back. And it's not just about money spent. It's about I see you, you see me, and we're going to build a relationship long term. And a lot of those clients, truly, guys, they come back year after year, and they pay full price, and that's great, and it doesn't hurt my bottom line. But ultimately, that relationship started as, what can I do to serve you? So that's a little bit about how I feel. Alone we are smart. Together we are brilliant. All right.
Okay, so we can get up here and talk this really big game about how we should all collaborate, and then we leave this lunch and we don't talk to each other until maybe we do this again or see each other at a networking event, and you guys were like, hey, that was a really good idea, and I'm like, I know, I never followed up. So here we go. This is how we're going to collaborate. We talked about knowing your niche. I'm going to refer out, I want to know about your venues. I'm going to refer out clients that aren't the right fit for me. I'm not going to try to push them to a Thursday. If they want a Saturday, I'm not going to try to fill in the Sunday. I'm going to refer them out to the venue that is best for them, because somebody has to start this. Flying Horse Ranch, the owner would be really appreciative if I didn't do it alone. You'd be like, so we have 6 weddings next year. No, but really, we do have to come through and lead by example, and everybody has to get on board for this to work. Fundraisers versus style shoots. I'm super passionate about this. Style shoots cost a lot of money. They take a lot of time for marketing photos, right? This is why we do them. To get published, maybe Rocky Mountain Bride will pick it up. Man, you could put that money into a fundraiser. You could donate your floral, your photography service, your cocktails, your dessert, whatever it is. And then here's the thing. Here's 150 people that are actually getting to see that. You could get it published in something that actually matters rather than just a blog because you gave back to the world. And it's just it's just ways that we can spend our money. It's money we're already spending. Like, let's spend it smarter to give back to people instead of spending it to get pretty photos. And we all have a lot of those, you know? Okay. Yeah, that's true. You can go next. Oh, this is
So I want to ask you a few rhetorical questions. You don't have to answer them, but I would love it if you told them later. Can you name every venue director or whatever your field is in Colorado Springs? Let's go deeper. Have you ever taken them to lunch and asked them why are they in the industry? Let's go deeper. Do you know their kids' names? Do you know their other passions? Let's go deeper. Are you working on a project together? So my battle cry to you is if you can't do this, start here, right? So when people say, do you know so-and-so at, Broadmoor, do you know so-and-so? So the answer is yes, I sure do. And I don't just know her or him, but I also have talked to them deeply about why they're in the industry and they're killing it. I also know they have 3 kids and they're going through a divorce. I also know that we're working on a project potentially together in order to really build more business. So start here. Start with these questions. Because ultimately, when you can get to this space, you are thriving in the wedding community. I'll read this because I love words. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. So that's what we're doing today.
okay, I have this idea and I want to get feedback. Also, I joke that, so you will get to know me, and I joke that on my tombstone, it will literally say, I have an idea, because all the time. People probably don't even have lunch with me anymore, because I'm like, I have this idea, and they're like, oh yeah? So, this industry is full of talent and drive and passion. I have met the best people in my life in this industry. I'm closer to people that do this for a living because they get it than I am that I've been friends with for 20 years. They just get it, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I bear hugged Kim Sexton because I was like, I haven't seen you a wedding season and you get it. It's the best. So here's the idea. I want Flying Horse Ranch to host an event with 150 vendors to come through. I want to have a piece of paper like you did at your seat. We're going to feed you, and we're going to have drinks and all of that. And you're going to have a list of 1 through 5 on that piece of paper. And then I want to invite 20 nonprofits that are seriously impacting our community in a good way, and I want them to tell you their story. I want them to tell you their story. I want them to tell you what they need to fundraise, what they need to make a bigger difference in our community. And then I want you to volunteer to be there for them. Because at the end of that event, they could walk out with a DJ, a florist, a venue, a caterer, a planner, and we could literally be supporting 20 nonprofits in a really big way, because who in this room wants to give back to the community more? Anybody in this room want to give back to the community more? Okay, love you. Also, who has time to do that? Yeah, me neither. So, Mackenzie, single mom, full-blown career, she has time. But I think that, man, if we come together and we start referring, which is really what this is about, if we refer each other and stop just being in it for our business, which I understand we have to be right now, but if that becomes more collaborative, we can just start giving back in really huge ways. This could go nationwide. Colorado Springs could be the city that changes the event industry. Larkspur, also Larkspur. Larkspur's less big. But do you know what I'm saying? It's just big. Okay, next slide. Sorry, get really excited about that. I have an idea how to make it easier. So if we came up with this community dashboard that said, these are the venues that are in Colorado Springs, Larkspur, Denver area, right? And these are the open dates they have, and this is their capacity, and this is their event director. Here's the crazy thing, is that when somebody calls Flying Horse Ranch and goes, I'm looking for this date, and my capacity is 250 or whatever, none of that works for me. I can literally pull up a community dashboard and say, but here's the 3 venues that are open, can accommodate your guest count, and their contact information. The bride appreciates that. I think that it's going back, but instead of, you can't know everybody's capacity, everybody's price point. Like, what if there was just one place to find it? Would anybody be on board for that? I see head nods. Okay, cool. I like it. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm the words girl. So anyway, so we're going to send up a follow-up email to all of you just kind of with all this information and then just a few ideas if you want to be on board with some of this that we're working on. We've got a lot of ideas for this community in the next 6 months that we're really excited about. And mostly we just appreciate that you came here. I always say, just by being here, you've done a rebellious act, right? You've done a rebellious thing. So if all you took from today is, I did a rebellious act today by coming and sitting with a bunch of competition, you did it. I mean, that's huge. And that speaks actually volumes to the integrity of each of you, because ultimately you understand that there is value in this collaboration. So, Megan forgot something.
Sorry. I also think that actions speak louder than words. So I do want to say this. I know that Mackenzie gives back a ton. I told Eileen about this idea that I wanted to do for the vendor event, and she's like, I'm the planner for that event, hands down, count me in. Like, I love that. She's just on board, and she's super excited. Private events. Flying Horse has a nonprofit called the Flying Horse Foundation, and we give back to kids in the foster system and low-income seniors. They're going to start repurposing our floral to go home with seniors, and they're excited about it. Like, I met with Brittany, and she was like, I've been looking for a way to give back, and it would be cool if other florists got on board and other venues did this. Like, man, this can just be so huge. So I guess my point is, I know it's sitting here and we have like lots to say, but we are doing it, and we're excited that people want to join us.
You have any questions?